Oh man, got a little bit of bedhead. All right, hey you guys, what's up? I want to do another video today. Figured I want to do a Hunter x Hunter video this time. Trying not to do too many of consistent series, I guess, back to back. But I want to start off this video. I wanted to do this video on who could draw Hunter x Hunter. If you didn't know, Togashi right now, the author of Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, and he has one more series I'm forgetting right now. Series about the Alien Prince. It's a weird series. Go check it out. He's a great author, great mangaka. But Togashi has lower back problems and hip problems, I believe. So it doesn't enable him to really draw that well or anything like that. Well, he can still draw. He still can draw really well and everything. Not taking that away from him, but he can't draw on a normal fashion. He has to draw lying down. He cannot draw sitting down. Which, if you ever try drawing, I imagine drawing lying down, he could still do it, but it hinders the work. So by no means this encouragement or anybody or anything for saying like, oh, somebody should go and take over for him or something. Or anything like that. Is of course his decision by the end of the day and everything. And uh, I'd be grateful if we finish the story at all or anything. He could just say we're scrapping it until I get better, or we're just scrapping it because my back isn't getting better or anything like that. I hope we do finish the story, and this is just more of a who could do Hunter x Hunter. And my personal, I would like to see do Hunter x Hunter as well. Um, but for most of this, I'm just gonna be providing artists that I think are really cool and I think would be. I don't know if they'd be interested or anything like that. This is by no means also a call out, but this is something where I think they would be really cool. And also check out all of their mangas as well. All these artists are amazing artists. Um, from where they, or at least like yeah, their work is great. All their work is just great. Um, so the first artist I'm going to do is the Sailor Moon author, or sorry, mangaka, and also Togashi's wife. Her name is sorry about that. I should there you go. Takeuchi. Now, if I say any of these names wrong, I apologize. I'm trying my best. But Naoko Takeuchi, the Sailor Moon mangaka, and Togashi's wife. Um, if realistically, if there's anybody who would finish the series, it's probably her. I know. I think there was some said somewhere. I could be wrong on this, but I believe it was said somewhere that she does know the ending, and if need be, she could finish the series. But if realistically, if there's anybody who would finish the series, it's her. She's already like one of the best selling manga. I assume one of the best selling mangas ever. Sailor Moon is like pivotal within anime and manga, especially here in the West. Uh, you kind of can't talk about the influence anime and manga has without talking about like two series, three really, but two, because I'm not counting Pokemon, but two series, and that is Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon. Uh, in my personal opinion, Sailor Moon's had such a big impact over here, and she is the reason of that, being the creator of it. Um, and dare I say bigger than Hunter x Hunter, truth be told. But yeah, I feel like if there's anybody who could draw or would draw the rest of the series, it is her. She also is, she lives with him, and I assume she lives with him, and she knows him the best. So if there's anybody who understands the way that he writes and the way that he thinks, it's going to be her. If you haven't read Sailor Moon or if you haven't watched Sailor Moon, definitely give it a try. It's a classic for a reason. It's great. Um, I know that her paneling. I mentioned a few videos ago that paneling is great. I like her paneling as well, and her characters are memorable. Great series overall. I don't even just suggest just for young girls, but overall for like pretty much anybody. It kind of doesn't matter who reads it, and those are the best manga because it's not necessarily written for young boys or young girls, but written for everybody. And those mangas, Sailor Moon is great for that reason. I love Sailor Moon. The next one I want to do is probably the very next choice, realistically, is the animator for Hunter x Hunter. The main one, I think the lead one, is Hidehiko Sawada. Now, Hidehiko, if you go check his Twitter, because he doesn't have necessarily any works as far as like manga go, as far as I'm sure, or as far as I checked. But if you check his Twitter, and a couple of other stuff, he has artwork done from Hunter x Hunter, and if he'd be interested, that'd be great. That'd be honestly amazing. Or I think he could do from what I've seen of his work, he could do it. I would like him to do it as well. Him drawing all that art, like he has art of Kurapika up. I'll probably put it on the screen up somewhere of his art. and I'll probably put his Twitter tag up there as well. But he is a great artist. I would love to see. He has a very, I think, for me personally, a rougher style. Not like as in a bad way, but as in like literal, like rough, like more jagged lines than Togashi. Togashi has a little bit of a smoother approach to how he draws things, and this guy has rougher isn't the word, sharper. There we go. Sharper is definitely the word for Sawada. But I like the art that he does provide here. As far as the appeal of it is that it's sharp to me, is that it's more a little bit more dynamic to me as well. It pops a little bit more. Like I said, Togashi has been great. It's just that uh, these chapters coming out slow, and I feel like that if there is two people to do it, other or one person to do it other than his wife, it probably would be the lead animator because he also has his style of characters and how to draw the characters down. He had worked on the series, the 2011 series for a long time. I think it was 5 years. Yeah, I believe 5 to 4 years. That's a pretty long time to be drawing the consistent same cast of characters. So yeah, if there's anybody to do it other than his wife, it would be her. Now, the next three are gonna be my personal suggestions and what I would like to see, and I would love to see if you guys have any suggestions as well. Put them in the comments. I'll see if I can reply to them. But seeing people's suggestions as well would be great, as well as mangas. If you guys have any suggestions for mangas I should read, uh, put them down the thing. I'll put some type of list, or you can check like my TikTok or something of all the mangas that I've read. I've read most. Okay, I've read most big shonen. If you go on a list and actually type in like all Shonen Jump mangas, anybody that said they've read all the Shonen Jump mangas is either crazy or they have just a lot of time on their hands because dude, there is so many or they're pretty old, like in the sense that like they're like 30 and they've been doing this since like 10. There are so many mangas. I've read most of the big ones, and by big ones I mean stuff where it's like the least popular of the ones that I'm talking about is like Toriko. There's a lot of mangas that are less popular than Toriko. Shonen Jump has put out a lot of stuff. I've never read stuff like Lucky Man though, or like even Dr. Slump I've never read. But for the most part, I read most of the big ones except for Bleach. Okay, except for Bleach. Bleach is the one I haven't read. I need to get to Bleach, and I will get to Bleach eventually, but I haven't read Bleach. But the next one is the Doctor Stone manga artist. Now, to be fair with Doctor Stone, I believe there's three people that work on it. I don't know. I don't know which one does which, but I believe when I searched it up, it was Bochi. And I was like, the name of the artist was Bochi. Bochi has such in-depth art. It's crazy. It is insane. In my personal opinion, one of the best mangas of our generation. They are amazing. Dr. Stone has if you look at the art, that art is insane. The way they draw bodies and the where you can see like way muscles are drawn and written, it is so great. Like the way it is amazing. I cannot recommend them enough. They have done work with Oda before, and they have done like One Piece stuff before. And seeing them draw like the One Piece characters and their art styles and everything is great. I love them. I love the way they drew Whitebeard. That's probably one of the best ways to draw Whitebeard I've seen, other than like Oda's original. It looks grotesque, but grotesque in such a beautiful, great way, almost like a 22-foot tall man would be. Um, I love it. I love their art style. It's great. Doctor Stone, I believe, is finished. So I'm excited for their next work, and I know Doctor Stone. I don't think you don't. Doctor Stone, there's no way that's their first work. There's no way. I don't know if it is, but there's no way. If that is, then Jesus Christ, they are beyond a prodigy. I don't even know what you would call that, but obviously they put in a lot of work to have that type of art style. They do a lot of work, and I do suggest you check them out. They are great. They're great. Their art style, I cannot praise it enough. And they've already worked and had experience with adapting stuff in the past. I love for them to also, if Oda ever gets tired and doesn't want to put out a chapter, they can draw One Piece. They can draw their One Piece chapter that week. I don't know. I think their art style is great. Um, the next one I want to suggest is if you've ever read Hitman Reborn or if you ever watched Psychopaths, they did the art for Psychopaths and they wrote Hitman Reborn, and that is Akira Amano. She is great. I cannot suggest her manga enough. Hitman Reborn is, I think, personally one of the most slept on Shonen Jump mangas ever. Uh, it was in that weird period of time in Shonen Jump. a little bit of a tangent here, but it was that weird period of time in Shonen Jump when Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were out. Nobody was looking at like anything else. Toriko was out. Beelzebub was out. Medaka Box was out. There's a lot of mangas that were out at that time. Heck, I think even Yu-Gi-Oh was still going. But there's a lot of mangakas out. Sorry, mangas out at that time that nobody was really looking at. And the Hitman Reborn and Beelzebub are by far some of my favorites. Beelzebub is definitely favorite. It's like S tier for me. I love Beelzebub. And Hitman Reborn is still also amazing. It's still great. I definitely suggest you give it a try. It has that feel to it, and of course it was written in 2000, so it makes sense why it has that certain like edginess to it. But it's the edginess in the way that it's like it encompasses. If you're a 2000s kid like me, the year I was born early 2000s. So if you born that time, it kind of throws you back. It kind of gives you this air, this feel of forgot my headphones was in. It kind of gives you this feel of just nostalgia, and I love that of like old Britney Spears Gorillaz tapes, and like by no means do they show that in the manga or anything, but it has that feeling to it because you go back and you read it, and they're using flip phones again, and you kind of remember the past before there were like smartphones or heavy hitting social media and stuff. The only internet stuff they had was forums and stuff like that as far as like social media goes and interacting with other people. That it throws you back, and it almost makes you nostalgic, almost makes you tear up thinking about, wow, geez, there was an era before like what we have now. And of course, I'm a young guy, so it's hard for me to remember that because it's all for most of my conscious life. That, but there was that era, and so it makes you kind of throw back a little bit, and it makes you appreciate what was back then as well. Sorry, it makes you appreciate what was back then to appreciate what we have now. Bit my tongue on that one, but yeah, it's great. Hitman Reborn is amazing. Go check out Beelzebub and Torco as well. Those are great. Torco I still haven't read, or I've read but I still haven't finished. But Toriko, from what I read, is great. Hitman Reborn read all the way through. Great. Sometimes a little fillery, but overall still a great series. And Beelzebub is a great series. But Akira Amano, I'd love to see her draw Gon. I'd love to see her draw Kite. Love to see her draw these certain, or not even Kite. Well, the new Kite, I guess, the Chimera Ant Kite. But I'd love to see her draw Gon. I'd love to see her draw Net, or I guess Razor. A lot of characters are dead in Hunter x Hunter. I realized that Hunter x Hunter kills off a lot of characters, especially comparative to your like normal shonen. Not like now, like JJK and Chainsaw Man kill off a lot, but compared to the mangas that were coming out during that time, Hunter x Hunter is not afraid to like kill off some characters. I've realized that, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, at that time, I would love to see her draw multiple of the characters in these situations that are cool, and I think she's able to really grasp and really add a certain feel to it. And by no means is her art style stayed the same. I checked out some of her more recent art. As far as Psychopath goes, and I checked out some more recent. She is definitely great at keeping with the times. At least it seems with me, but yet keeping her art very consistent. When she draws something, you can tell it's her. You can tell it's definitely her, and I love that for her art style. But anyway, Akira Mano, go check her out. She's a great artist. The next one and the last one I have is the artist of Blame. Now, you check PewDiePie's How to Draw video. He really likes that series. I think he said it was his favorite manga or one of his favorite mangas. But Blame is great. I've checked out and I've seen some of the reviews and stuff like that. So I trust in people that I friends with personally like Blame, and I trust their opinion. So go check it out. I still haven't read it personally, but what I have read, if you can tell my background, is Snicked. That one right there. And he drew Snicked, and I love Snicked. When I was a kid, I didn't really read too much of the story for the comic books. A lot of the time when I was reading them, I was going through them and I was looking at the art, and I really appreciated the art. I was a kid, I liked fight scenes and everything, and that to me was probably one of the coolest aspects to comic books as well, and that's what got me into manga so easily. Eventually, when I started paying attention to the story as well, though, that was something else, and that came on a whole different part of my life. But it was originally when I read comics, I just looked at them for the pictures. Snicked is great, amazing, amazing art. I have. I wish you could see my actual favorite cover because that's my second favorite cover. I think it's the volume 3 or volume 1 cover, either one. But his art, and not only his art, but his style and clothing are great. His shading, I think he's probably pretty popular for the way he shades stuff, at least from what it seems for me. And this is completely out the left field for Hunter x Hunter, mind you, because if he did it, it would just look grittier. It would just look a little rougher as far as like, and I would love that, especially I would love that, especially for the Dark Continent arc. The Dark Continent arc, it would be great because you would get to see this almost like breakdown of the story going into deeper and darker things. Ever since Khmer Ant arc, we've been going a little bit darker. Hell, honestly, probably honestly, York New, truth be told, but York New was kind of still had that tinge of silliness to it. But ever since Khmer Ant arc, and we started dealing with things from the Dark Continent and the Dark Continent itself, I would love to see that. And once we get to the Dark Continent, I just know there's gonna be people dying there because it's even stated that a expedition of 50 great Nin users went. Only 3 came back, and one of them was Netero. Another one was a Zoldyck related to this Kilowall, and I forget what the last lady, the old lady who's like a healer. 3 of them only came back. Only 3. So there's gonna probably be a lot of people not making this Dark Continent arc, not living through it. And for that, seeing those scenes that they do pass away and seeing those all that stuff will be great if the blame offer. Sorry, I didn't even say his name. Suametsu Nihei. I think that's how you say it. It would be great if Nihei drew him like that. Be awesome. Or yeah. Um, those are pretty much the 5 I wanted to go over. I just wanted to do a short little video. I had the idea in my head, and I figured I wanted to like put the idea down as so record the video as soon as I possibly could. But yeah, to go over again, Takeuchi, she is the Sailor Moon mangaka. Hidehiko Sawada is the Hunter x Hunter animator. Bochi is the Doctor Stone manga artist. Akira Amano, which is the Hitman Reborn artist, and the Blame and Snicked artist as well. Suometsu, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Apologies again if I'm not. But Suometsu Nihei. Um, but all 5 of those are they're great artists. Again, uh, all their artwork is, and this goes for most manga because truth be told, they have been spending years doing and building up their craft. I doubt any of them were just born that talented. They're born talented, but I doubt they're born that talented and didn't have to put in the work. They are prodigies in their own right, and all most manga, especially if you make it a Shonen Jump, you have a certain style they've had to develop, and they've had to be talented as well. And but by no means does that diminish the skill and training and work they had to put in. A lot of people I feel like they just think these manga because it's like, oh, his art is falling off. That art and that art, they eat off that art, and that is something so amazing. So Togashi, taking a break, considering he already has one classic in Yu Yu Hakusho, and he already has another. Hunter x Hunter could say, okay, I'm finishing it tomorrow, and it would still be one of the greatest shonens to ever touch Shonen Jump. So honestly, and that's by no means an easy feat. By no means, half a lot of people couldn't even write the better than the worst Shonen Jump manga. Well, I don't know what the worst one is, but the worst popular one, I guess. Um, so by any and let alone draw, these mangas are great because half of them, not even half of them, all of them on this list for the most part, have to draw and have to do the story as well. So not only do you have to be a great artist and you have to dedicate your time to working and doing art, you also have to put out a great story as well and have to be a talented or a working, hard working or both story writer. So being a manga by no means is an easy achievement. So Togashi should definitely, in my personal opinion, if he does, it would be great to see him kind of outreach to different mangakas and try out different styles and see which ones fans like the most. I would love for him to be series to be finished, and I'd love for him to be able to finish his story, but in the most least painful way for him, possibly. Again, if you've never drawn lying down versus sitting down, try it out. Very two different things. And try it standing up. Me personally, I wanted to get into drawing. I before this video, I was like, let me try doing it both. I lay down on my ground. I tried drawing it. I tried drawing a stick figure, uh, fighting, and then I tried doing it sitting down. Should have taken a picture of it, but sure enough, I don't know how Tagashi does it lying down. Considering you have to keep yourself supported with one, I don't know how he does it. Again, props to him for these most recent chapters. It seems like he's been doing it lying down. And it's the art is still amazing. It's still great. Other than that, this is where this video is gonna end. I I'm going to get out some more videos. Seems like I'm doing pretty consistent, so I guess good job on myself here. And yeah, you guys keep going, keep living, and keep doing your thing. See ya.